Welcome to our channel, where we bring the most captivating Bible stories to life. In today's tale, we dive into the legendary story of David and Goliath. Witness the faith, courage, and divine power that transformed a humble shepherd into a hero of Israel. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated. David was a young shepherd, barely 17, with sun-kissed skin and a lean frame from long days in the fields. His eyes, sharp and full of purpose, mirrored the clear blue skies above the hills of Bethlehem, where he tended his father's sheep. Though small in stature, David carried himself with quiet confidence, the reflection of his unshakable faith in God. Miles away, the Israelites' camp buzzed with tension. Across the valley of Elah, the Philistines had gathered in battle formation, their warriors poised and ready. At their forefront stood a monstrous figure, Goliath of Gath, a giant over 9 feet tall. His armor gleamed like bronze in the sun, and his booming voice echoed across the valley as he issued his daily challenge. "Choose a man to fight me. If he defeats me, we will be your servants. But if I kill him, you will be ours." For 40 days, Goliath's taunts shook the Israelite camp. No man dared to answer him, not even Saul, Israel's tallest and strongest warrior. Fear gripped their hearts, and each day the tension grew thicker, the shadow of defeat creeping closer. David had always felt the presence of God in the quiet moments of his life, the rustle of wind through the olive trees, the star-filled nights as he watched over his flock, and the strength he felt when he fought off lions and bears. One morning, Jesse, David's father, called him from the fields. "Take this food to your brothers at the battlefield," Jesse instructed, his voice tinged with worry. David's 3 older brothers served in Saul's army, and Jesse wanted news of their safety. With a sling on his side and a staff in his hand, David set off toward the valley of Elah, unaware that his life was about to change forever. The scene David arrived at was chaotic. Soldiers milled about, their faces pale with fear. The ground trembled as Goliath once again stepped forward, his voice cutting through the air like a storm. David froze, watching the Israelites shrink away from the giant. "What's this man saying?" David asked a nearby soldier. The soldier, trembling, explained Goliath's challenge. David's blood boiled. Who was this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? His boldness caught the attention of his brothers. "Go back to the sheep, David." Eliab, his eldest brother, snapped, "You don't belong here." But David ignored him. "If no one else will fight, then I will." Word of David's resolve spread quickly, reaching King Saul. Summoned to the king's tent, David stood before him, undaunted. "Let no one lose heart because of this Philistine," David said. "I will fight him." Saul frowned. "You are only a boy. Goliath has been a warrior since his youth." "I have killed lions and bears while protecting my father's sheep," David replied. "The Lord who delivered me from them will deliver me from this giant." Reluctantly, Saul agreed. He offered David his armor, but it was too heavy and cumbersome. Instead, David chose his sling and selected 5 smooth stones from a nearby brook. As David descended into the valley, the air grew heavy with anticipation. The Philistines jeered, and the Israelites held their breath. "Am I a dog, that you come at me with sticks?" Goliath roared, laughing as David approached. David's voice rang out clear and unwavering. "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." Goliath sneered, his massive frame looming over the boy. The sight was almost comical. A seasoned warrior against a shepherd armed with a sling. "Come here, and I'll feed your flesh to the birds," Goliath roared. But David remained calm, his fingers tightening around the stone in his sling. Behind him, the Israelite camp watched in terrified silence, while the Philistines laughed, confident in their champion's strength. In that moment, David remembered the countless nights he had prayed to God under the stars. He had no fear, because he knew this battle wasn't his. It was the Lord's. The valley seemed to shrink as David focused on Goliath, blocking out the jeers and laughter. With a prayer in his heart, he began to swing his sling. The stone flew through the air with uncanny precision, striking Goliath square in the forehead. The giant's laughter ceased abruptly as his massive body wavered, then crashed to the ground like a felled tree. The battlefield fell into stunned silence. David ran forward, drawing Goliath's own sword to deliver the final blow. The Philistines, paralyzed by the sight of their fallen champion, turned and fled. The Israelites, emboldened by David's victory, surged forward in pursuit, shouting praises to God. David stood over Goliath's body, lifting his sword high. "The battle is the Lord's," he declared. Back at camp, Saul could hardly believe his eyes. "Who is this boy?" he asked. David stood before him, humble yet resolute. "I am David, son of Jesse, and it was not I, but the Lord who delivered Israel today." The Israelites celebrated long into the night. Songs of David's victory echoed across the hills, and the people marveled at how God had used a shepherd to save their nation. But not all were joyful. Saul watched David with a growing sense of unease, jealousy darkening his thoughts as the people praised the boy more than their king. The women sang, "Saul has slain his thousands, but David his tens of thousands." David's humility shone even in the face of glory, but Saul's envy began to fester. David reflected on the day's events, realizing that his life would never be the same. God had a greater purpose for him, one that would require even more faith and courage. David's triumph over Goliath became a legend, a story of faith overcoming fear and the power of God working through the least expected. In his prayers that night, David gave all glory to God, his heart full of gratitude and trust for the path ahead. If you have watched this video to this point, please take note of the following. Challenges are opportunities for faith. Life's challenges, no matter how overwhelming, are opportunities for us to demonstrate faith and trust in God, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Faith can lead to victory. Preparation comes in small steps. The quiet moments of preparation, like David's time as a shepherd, equip us for life's greater challenges. Each small victory strengthens us for the battles ahead. Stand firm in the face of criticism. Criticism and doubt, even from those closest to us, are inevitable when we take bold steps of faith. Standing firm in our beliefs is essential to overcoming fear and opposition. Trust in God over worldly tools. True strength comes from God, not from worldly resources. When we rely on Him and use the gifts He has already given us, we can face any challenge. Courage is acting despite fear. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear, but moving forward with trust in God, even when fear threatens to overwhelm us. Faith speaks boldly. Bold declarations of faith, like David's words to Goliath, inspire confidence and demonstrate unwavering trust in God's power. God uses the unexpected. God often works through the least expected means, like a shepherd boy with a sling, to show that victory comes from Him, not human strength. Victory belongs to God. Success and triumph should always point back to God's power and faithfulness. The battle is the Lord's, and He alone deserves the glory. Humility in success. True humility acknowledges that our achievements are part of God's plan, not our own greatness. Staying grounded ensures we remain aligned with His purpose. Respond to jealousy with integrity. Others may respond to our success with envy, but staying true to God's path ensures we maintain righteousness and peace. Stay grateful after success. Success should lead to a deeper sense of gratitude and dependence on God, reminding us that He is the source of all blessings. Every victory has a purpose. God uses our triumphs not just for our benefit, but as part of a larger plan. Trusting His purpose ensures we stay focused on what truly matters. Faith inspires others. Our actions of faith, no matter how small, can inspire others to trust in God. Our lives can be a testimony of His power and love. Legacy of faith. The story of faith and courage leaves a lasting impact on others. By trusting God, we create a legacy that can inspire future generations to believe and persevere. God's plan is greater than ours. Even when life seems uncertain, trusting in God ensures we are part of a greater purpose that brings glory to Him and blessings to those around us. If you were inspired by this story of faith and courage, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments what lessons you've learned, and stay tuned for more captivating Bible stories.